And welcome to Eric and Linda live from Workvine 209. I'm Eric.
And I'm Linda. Thank you guys for joining us today. We're again from Workvine 209 out here in Tracy, California. It's a little bit muggy out there today, but I'm so excited. So since this whole pandemic happened, we've been in a pivot, and in our pivot, we're doing these live shows, interviewing business leaders and inspirational people. And this month we have focused on minority women in business and leadership. And I'm super, super excited about our guest that we have on today's show. She's a good friend and an inspirational person. And I'm going to let Eric introduce her.
So yeah, this woman, powerful woman of God. She empowers, she enriches, she educates, she encourages. She has her own business called the BIZ Developer. She helps other women in business build strategies and opportunities. And so her name is Tonya Smith, and we want to welcome Tonya to the show. Welcome, Tonya.
Hey.
How you doing?
Hello, thanks for having me. I'm doing great today. Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you for being a part of our show. And so we know that you've started many businesses and had many challenges and obstacles. Why don't let's just start by sharing a little bit about what it's like to be a woman in business.
Oh, wow. So not just a woman, but an African-American woman in business. The challenges are you really have to prove yourself a little harder. You have to show that you do know exactly what you're talking about, that you have some wins behind your belt. You have to have some testimonials. When I first started, I worked corporate America for 22 years in a corporate position. So when I started my business, I thought I knew everything. I thought, it was because, when you work corporate, it's like, oh, I can run a business. And I quickly found out that was not the case. Yeah. And so as you stated, I have started businesses and they end up stopping for reasons, I just did not really understand entrepreneurship. And I didn't at the time seek out a coach or a mentor to help me understand entrepreneurship. And that's very important because it saves you a lot of frustration and a lot of wasted money. And so over the years, I was helping people develop their business, whether it be a nonprofit or a for-profit business. But I kept having that urge inside, knowing that I should be doing it for myself. But I had a lot of fear because the first business, it failed. So I had a lot of fear to start the next one.
Wow. And you just launched this year, is that right?
Yeah, so I have a business, a medical billing business for behavioral health clinicians. And I started doing that. And in that, there's a lot of other women medical billers or who want to start a medical billing business or a home health aid business, and they don't know exactly what to do. They don't know the steps to get started. So I was sitting home in my office during COVID, and I have to do something. I like helping people. I have a passion for seeing others succeed. And I really felt it in my spirit that I was called, and I had been told from many people that I should be in business for myself, but not just doing the medical billing business, but actually helping other entrepreneurs and other businesses. And so I set myself out a goal. I had a lot of limiting beliefs that was hindering me. A lot of things, stopping me. No one's going to want to buy from me. Where am I going to find customers and clients? Are people going to give me referrals? You name it, it was running through my head. And so I sat in my office one day and I said, you know what? I've helped a lot of people start businesses, very successful businesses. I've helped a lot of organizations scale their processes. I know what I know. And I began to pop my collar and I began to pat myself on the chest. And I said, you know what? You are going to do this. So I set a goal for May 8th. that I was going to do this, and this was back in February. So I really didn't know. This was the beginning of March. So I
Okay.
pretty much gave myself 6 weeks to launch this business, the Biz Developer. And it was a labor of love. It was a lot of late nights, a lot of early mornings, a lot of telling myself I can do it, a huge support from my family, especially my husband. And I did it on May 8th. We launched the Biz Developer. I actually had a virtual launch party right here in my office. I had the
Nice.
balloons, the cake. We went live everywhere. We played games. It was great. And then I was able to go ahead and start my business. And so I had my first customer, coaching customer, and it has just really exceeded what I expected. I have really been able to help women grow and start and grow their business. Some start, some already had a business, help them grow, and I just see the sky's the limit, and that's something. And I'm working in my purpose, and I think
Yeah.
it's very important as women that we not only um, move with our goals, but we identify what our purpose is.
Mm.
Because when you work in your purpose, one is not going to seem like work, and two is going to be very much more rewarding for you.
Yeah. And you know what's so awesome about that is that you can see it. Like I remembered you came in our office and you told us about your launch and all that, but you could see it in you. Like you look like a different person. I mean, you were operating in your purpose and you were just like so excited about it. And that's what people buy into. It's not really the degree that you have or the experience, but they buy into people and genuine people. And when that comes out of you, people, it's contagious. People catch it and they're like, "Hey, I want that." And so that's what, to me, that's what sells is when people are working in their passion and in their purpose and they do it like it's not even work to them.
Yeah.
It's like breathing.
Yeah,
It becomes natural. You don't even
yes,
think about it. You just do it. And that's
yes,
really what you're helping other women do is just like breathe through their purpose and their plan. And I know they're, doing that,
yes,
you have to have, what do you have to have? You have to have a business plan. And so how do you help people with their business plan?
yes. So thank you for asking, Linda. I actually, as a developer, I have created a whole coaching program around setting up your business plan. And the reason that this was really close to my heart and one of my passion projects was because when I launched my first business, I did not have a plan. When I launched the TS medical billing business, I did not have a plan. And as I stated in the beginning, I wasted so much time um, trying to figure things out. And I wasted money because I had tools that I didn't need.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that until later. And so what I did when I created the business plan is called the Biz Builders Business Plan. The program is the Business Plan Development Program, where I actually coach you through working your business plan. So filling it out from start to finish with just the essentials that's needed. Now, this is not a plan for those that are looking for outside investors. This is someone who have an idea, want to start a business, but need to make sure that that foundation is set in place for every area in your business. So your EIN number, your business name, your domain name, your marketing, who you're marketing to, who's your customer, the components needed. Do you need a warehouse? If so, what's the square feet you're going to need? All of that is in this business plan. And you have me to coach you through it for four 60-minute coaching calls, and you have some action items in between. And then once it's complete, we have a 30-day marketing plan to help get you started. And so it has really been a labor of love. just creating this plan because, like I said, I made mistakes. You don't have to make them. I wasted money. You don't have to waste any. And
Hmm.
so going through this business coaching program, it allows you to just make sure that the fundamentals of starting that business are set in place, and it covers every area so that when you know you're ready to launch, you have everything already in place.
Wow, that's good.
Yeah, there is a saying about that. If you don't plan, you plan to fail. And so I think if you
Exactly.
like having that plan is like you said, it's very important. So
So we got a
I'm
question up
excited
there.
about that.
If you want to answer that, what is the makeup of your companies that you help? Is it like solopreneurs, 1 to 3 co-founders? What types of businesses and verticals do they play in?
So right now, basically, what who I help are solo entrepreneurs. My main target customer are women entrepreneurs, just getting started. So these would be new entrepreneurs getting started, not knowing exactly where to start. And then, aside from that, companies that have already started but maybe need an assessment to scale some of their practices. So they may not necessarily need a business plan, but they may need someone that operationally to say, hey, you if you do this, this, and this, we can have this department or this company run more efficiently. So my background, just to go back a little bit, is in operations and in customer service. So it started in customer service. I started at Intuit, Quick and QuickBooks software, worked my way up from customer service to the marketing department, marketing the QuickBooks program, and the commercials that you would see on TV. I set up all the background telemarketing programs for those. So when you dialed the number, they picked up the phone, you said, I want to order. I was the one that set up all the programs all across the US for that person on the back of that phone. From there, went into other companies, other departments where I worked as a marketing and operations manager. So I know operations in and out. And so that's where I can help an established business. But mainly, my focus this time around is helping new women entrepreneurs get started. And if you've already gotten started, but you got started off the wrong foot, then I can help you get on the right track.
Wow.
You did mention to me when you came in that you did some self help classes, or were they courses or seminars? And you told me a really great
Yeah.
story about how you help people. Can you talk about that?
So I believe that a lot of times we're hindered from even starting a business. We have the idea in our mind, we have this inside of us, but we are hindered because of what has been said to us verbally in our past. So growing up, you might have been told, you'll never amount to anything. In different areas of work, you might have always been criticized or put down. And so you start building up these limiting beliefs inside, which kind of suppress you from thinking that you can achieve anything. And so for me, I had to deal with that head on, because if I didn't, I knew that my business would not be a success because I would be second guessing everything that I did, and that wasn't going to be good. So before I even started the Biz Developer, this is while we were going in development. And I say we because my husband really helped support me through all of this. So while I'm going through development and I'm going setting up the processes and setting up the program, I had to work on me. And you get to a point where sometimes people see you in one space and one position, and they want to keep you in that space and in that position when there's more for you.
Mhm.
And we always are evolving and growing. So what was okay maybe 3 years here, now it might not so much be. And so I had to work through that with a coach. So I actually am a coach, but I have a coach as well.
Yeah.
And I had to work through that. And I got to the point where I know, you know what? I know what I know. I have the experience. I've helped many people. I have the testimonials. I can do this.
Yeah.
And I have peace to myself. I can do this. I can do this. And when I did that, I literally took on that spirit of knowing I can do this. And then I began to walk like I can do this. I'm a CEO.
Yeah.
And from there, it was like my whole spirit changed, my whole countenance changed. I began to act like the CEO that I knew was inside me. And people see that. They see fear, and no one wants to work with someone who has fear. And then they see the confidence and they see the know how. And so that's what has propelled me to be able to gain the customers because before then, like I said, I was scared. I was completely scared. So I did a lot of self helping, a lot of talking to myself, say, girl, you got this. You got
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
And now you're teaching other people, right? You're teaching what you've learned, what you
Exactly.
walked through, and now
Yeah.
you're paying it forward and saying, hey, look, if I could do it, you can do it too. And, this is what I went through. People
Absolutely.
want to have, they want to ask advice from somebody that's actually been through it, right? If, been
Yeah.
through the challenges, because you know exactly
Yeah.
what it feels like. And for you to share your story with another person, it goes a long way. And you really never know how much you've impacted a person by just telling your story and encouraging
That's
someone.
true.
Yeah.
And you had somebody that
That is
came
so
back to
true.
you.
And I don't,
Good.
right. Yeah. And I don't shy away. Like some people, they like to hide their struggles. I'm an open book. If you go on my Instagram page or my Facebook page, I'm going to tell you the wins and I'm going to tell you when, you know what, I am having a bad day, because I believe in transparency. I did a quote, a post saying that, as a CEO, sometimes there was a time that I felt like, not in this business, but in the one I did before, that I had to appear to be perfect. There are no perfect CEOs. And so I let people know that yes, you want to do a bit, but there's no perfect CEO. You are going to have some challenges. You are going to have some ups and downs. You are going to have some good days. There'll be some days when everything flows just right, and then there are some days when you want to take your laptop and throw it out the window, and it's all a part of it, and it's okay. And what I teach them is how to get through it. What comes up, how do you get through that? And so that's the thing that we have to understand, that as we go through we're going to challenges. It's just for what it is, but it's how you get through the challenges that you come on the other side a better person and a better business owner and a better entrepreneur. So I believe in transparency. I believe in sharing my wins and my losses, my challenges, and all of that, because people can read. They can read and they can tell. And those who have not worked with me yet, they need to get to know that I'm just Tonya. I'm a business owner, but I'm just Tonya. And I'm just here to help you get to the point where you can be in your business.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like it.
I do too.
There's a couple of things you said that really stuck out to me. You said there's a CEO inside of you, right? And I mean, for a lot of people who want to get started, I think that is very key to let them know, women entrepreneurs out there's a CEO inside of you, right? And they need to know that.
Yes,
And the other thing
yes,
that you mentioned is the sky's the limit. So, take the limits off, right? And exceed and excel. I mean,
yes.
how can you help women overcome some of those obstacles, and being able, and maybe it's through the mentoring and through your program of how to bring that CEO out and also taking the limits off and, stopping that restriction of fear and over, the different obstacles like you mentioned. How can you help women out there overcome the fears, get that CEO out, and share that the sky's the limit? I know that's a
Mm.
lot.
Yeah,
But,
Yeah, I'll take it. Overcome their fears. So I think first they have to identify them. They have to own them, because a lot of times oh, I'm not afraid, but deep down, you really are, and that's what has hindered you in the past. And so I like to help them first. Let's identify it. The first we're going to identify everything that has stopped you from starting this business in the past, because there's all these things that we think we've gotten over, and then as we begin to do something, like start a business, or it could be anything, any dream or something or goal that you have, they will come up, and it lets you know, oh, I didn't deal with that.
Yeah.
It comes up. And so we need to deal with that first, because if we don't deal with that first, then you are self-sabotaging yourself before you get started. So I help them go through that by identifying that, working through it so we get over it. So once they identify it, then if it rears its head, they're able to speak a positive word. So my thing is, write down all the words that have been spoken over your life that were negative. Then on the side of it, write down a positive that counteracts it.
Yeah.
Keep that in a journal. I have many journals. I love them. As you begin to build your business, and as those things start coming up, those words, you will never amount to anything. Your idea isn't good. No one is going to purchase from you. No one wants what you have. Go to your
Yeah.
book and look at all those positives that you wrote down, and let that start feeding your spirit. Let that feed you on the inside, because as it does that, it's going to build the stair steps needed to become a strong CEO. Because in this business, as a woman, you are going to go through so many adversities just because you are a woman. But if you conquer all of that in the beginning, you will have side to build upon. So when you come against that adversity, it'll be like water off your back. It's like, I
Yeah.
deal with that. Okay, move on. And that will give you the fuel to move on and go to the next part.
That's
So
good.
that's what I take them through. We go through that. Before we even deal with getting an EIN number, we have to deal with that first, so that we know you're solid. Once you're solid, then the business will be solid.
Yeah. That's good.
That is
So you're
good
working on the
stuff.
personal level first
Yes.
and then on the business level. That's
Yes.
I like it.
Yes, yes, have to. I tell people, we go through, because, like I said, I want to build real CEOs. That means these are people that have a real business mindset. Now, not a hustle mindset, because there's a difference. You can have a hustle, but to be a real entrepreneur, you need to have a business mindset, a CEO mindset. Take your hustle and turn that into a real business. So I don't knock anybody's hustle. I started a hustle when I did my medical billing business before it became a full-fledged business. But
Yeah.
I had an idea of where I wanted it to go. And in order for it to get there, that's when the CEO mindset had to take place. And that's when I had to be like, okay, if I'm really going to do this, I need a DBA. Okay, I need to do this. I need to get a real domain name. I need to have a real bank account and not just use Cash App or PayPal. I need to make sure that I'm putting money aside for my taxes. This is a CEO mindset. And so I
Yeah.
like to take people, come to me with your hustle. Come to me, and we will develop your hustle into a real business.
Yeah. I like that.
That's real good. That's
Get
real
that
good.
hustle to the real business.
Yeah.
From a
Yes.
hustler to a CEO.
And
Yes. We can
that's so
all get the
true.
coins.
You know,
Yes.
I was thinking
Yes. So
about, I was thinking about, what you said, and when people start to label you and all that stuff, that's all good stuff. I mean, you have to think about that. You have to dig deep. I remember when I was in corporate America, and I worked for this company, and I was substituting, or I was the interim executive secretary, and a colleague of mine, a coworker, of mine came to me. She's like, you know what? You'll never be an executive assistant. I was like, why would you say that? And she was like, oh, you just don't look like one. And that labeled me for a long time. And 20 years later, here I am. I put those words, I burned them, I put them in the past, and I said, that's not me. I'm not claiming that. And here I am today, and I'm a CEO, and I work passionately and purposefully in what I do. And so if I could do it, you know, you could do it too. And we need other people like you to pull that out of the diamond in the rough women out there, you know, to really give them, you know, a sense that they can do it. And that's what's important. I think it does begin there.
Yeah.
And instilling that in them and being their cheerleader, and then helping them with their processes. I mean, it takes a lot to be an entrepreneur and start your business, and we need other people, professionals that have, you know, been through it to help other people become successful. So if there was go ahead. If there was one thing
I was just
tell I'm sorry, if there was one thing you could tell a woman out there, what would that be to get to where you are today?
Ooh, one thing. Ooh, because I have so many. I think, you know, the main thing that I want women who either are thinking about starting a business or who have already started a business, but they need to do a pivot. I would tell them to not stop. I think it's very important that when you start something, that you don't let anything stop you. You don't let anybody's version of you stop you. Because, like I said, people have a version of you in their head, and that's all they see. And it's very important that you that you don't even allow yourself to stay in that. That you allow yourself to tap into what it is and tap into your purpose. Because I truly believe that when you tap into it, there's going to be such a hunger on the side that you won't want to stop until you see it come to fruition. You know, when I did the medical billing business, when I started it, it was started by accident. It wasn't something I even wanted to do. You know, helping someone out, and then it was like, oh, well, can you help me out? Okay, well, let me see, you know, do this. Well, here we are later, and you know, just within right at the beginning of July, I had 4 clients, brand new clients, come on within 4 days. Some of them came through Facebook. One of them was a referral because someone posted something in a Facebook group. But I had been doing some marketing, and I had made a decision, and this is really what you want to hear. I made a decision to see this go where as far as it could go. So I at first said, I'm only going to do this and this. But when I made the pivot during COVID has been a little bit of a blessing to some people that I did shift with that business too. So I took that business onto social media, and it just blossomed from there. The following and just being other medical billers, new medical billers, helping people. It was just amazing. I shocked myself. You know, it's like, wow, another new customer. But what that made me do is I had to, I can't just have this anymore. Now I got to shift into a CEO mindset. I have to put processes in place so that, you know, I have a smooth onboarding when a new client comes on, and so they hit a button, they can schedule a call, then they get their contract, then they get their forms. Everything is done automatic. That's because I had to pivot from my hustle mindset to the CEO mindset, and so that's, you know, what I would say to you: do not stop and see the big picture.
Yeah.
Ask yourself, where do I want this to be? Okay. And then do everything that is necessary to get to that point. And that's what I would tell you. Go for the big picture. Don't put yourself short and just say, oh, I'll just do this. If I'd have just did this, then that business wouldn't have flourished. Now I have two in the middle of a pandemic. Who does that?
Yes.
Who does
Yes. Yeah.
It
That's
gets me
good.
so excited when I hear your story. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm excited to share it with other women. You know, for so long we hide back and we feel like that we can't put ourselves forward, or, you know, we can't be strong. You know, that's the other thing. If you're a strong woman CEO, then, you know, they got another label for you, you know, but you can be a strong female CEO and still be about your business and get your business done and help other people in the process. And that's all that the Biz Developer is about. Just helping other women. You know, I'll help, you know, men too if they ask, but
That's the focus. That's all right.
I'm targeting my other women because we need to help each other. Too
Yeah.
many of us, you know, we don't, you know, we just, for years there's been a fight against each other, and I'm just believing building each other up, helping each other, and being in a community where we help each other. And in my Instagram community, it's you know, we don't know each other but through social media. But if somebody has a webinar, everybody's on there supporting them. If someone has an ebook, you know, everybody's purchasing it. You know, it's like women coming together and really helping other women. And I'm just all for that, all for that.
You know, I hear a book coming on. I hear a book coming on. I think you need to write a book.
You know, it's funny because in addition to developing the medical business and developing the Biz Developer, I did write a couple of ebooks. All this during pandemic, right? Who knew? So I have an ebook out on how to set up a home office that you'll want to work in. This is my happy place. I love my office. I'm in here all the time. So much so my husband and my kids they know where to find me. You know, it's like, where your mom? Oh, she's in her office. So I do have an ebook on that. If you go to my Instagram link, you'll be able to click on that and see and purchase that. And I also have one for business owners who have employees working at home. So it's very important that during this pandemic, you have a lot of employers that had to shift and send their employees home, but they're not used to how to deal with a remote employee. So I have an ebook that walks them through how to stay in connection with their remote employee during this pandemic. So I have started to, you know, and then the business plan was another one. I have a couple of more I've written too, but I will tell my story. That is in the works. I will tell my story.
Yes,
Wow.
Get that ebook.
Yeah.
Listeners out there, get that ebook. Go to that Instagram page and get it. I mean, I'm gonna get it.
Yeah. Get it
Yes.
at Instagram or Facebook, the Biz Developer. I just want to thank you for all what you do for minority women and all women out there who are looking to start a business, maybe don't know where to start or kind of stuck somewhere, or if you just wanted to shift that hustle into that CEO position, contact Tonya. I mean, she's right there, the Biz Developer, Facebook, Instagram. Reach out to her so that you can get the tools that you need to be successful. And so I just want to thank you for being transparent and sharing. And I'm so happy that you got two businesses, a third on the way. You know, I mean, it's so much fun being an entrepreneur. For the rest of this month, we still have minority women entrepreneurs coming on, sharing, you know, what they're doing, how they're helping the community, what they're doing, even in the pandemic. You can create some type of pivot or shift to do something. So thank you, Tonya, for being a part of our show. And Man, it's been
Thank
great.
you so much for what you guys do too. You are an inspiration to everyone out there, and just being able to highlight this topic is just huge. So I kudos to you guys. Thank you, and much success to you both.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tonya. I want to say a couple things. I could see you telling your older Tonya telling your younger Tonya exactly what you said to yourself, and you lived it. And it's just amazing about your medical business that you started. I think it was only been a year, and look how fast you've like grown in July, 4 new clients. It's just amazing, and it's inspiring, and it's real.
Yeah.
And so
Yes.
really write that book. You need to write that book.
Okay.
But
It's coming. It's coming.
yep, I love you, Tonya, and I'm so blessed to have you as a friend and a business consultant, because there's times where call you and sometimes I just call you to rant and rave, but you listen. That's the thing I love about you. But anyways, have a blessed day. We hope that that your business is successful and continues to be successful, and everything that you do is blessed. And I love you. Tell Moses I said hello.
I shall. I will. Thank you. You enjoy the rest of your day.
All right,
All
thank you.
right.
And we'll be back on Thursday with another minority woman entrepreneur
That would be
in
Christina.
business.
Christina Wyatt.
All right,
On
Christina
Thursday.
on Thursday. So see you guys. Thank you.
Thank
Have
you.
a great day.